Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Northeast Region Get EVAL Certified. This is Julie Bond with Best Workplaces for Commuters, and I'll serve as your host today. Our guest speaker is Rosa Matsu Scotty with Plug-in America. This webinar is being recorded and will be available for playback at bestworkplaces.org. The United States includes 6 EVAL regions as shown on this map. The Northeast region, which we are covering today, includes Massachusetts, Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, and New York. If you happen to be from another state, you are more than welcome to be here and stay on for the program. We have upcoming webinars, though, for each region, or we have recordings from past webinars. And so for more information and to learn more about those webinars that are recorded, go to bestworkplaces.org. Our goal is for our program to be interactive, and we're here to address your questions and share information so you can feel confident in a path toward becoming Electric Vehicle Adoption Leadership Certified, EVAL. In a moment, we'll jump in, but first, here's our agenda. I'll provide a short introduction and then introduce our speaker. We encourage you to please type your questions in the Q&A box, and you can also chat with other attendees anytime. And we're glad you're here today, and we hope you will enjoy the presentation. So first, a little about Best Workplaces for Commuters. The partnership between Best Workplaces for Commuters, or BWC, which is a national recognition program to support workplaces that have robust commuter benefits programs, and between Forth is quite synergistic. So we're excited about this partnership. Supporting EV charging at workplaces aligns well with our programming and the goals of expanding access to greener commuting choices. BWC is the national authority on recognizing and assisting workplaces that provide exceptional commuter benefits to employees. And you can see on this slide is a breakdown of the types of members we support, including individual employers, universities and colleges, and multi-employer sites. Our program is managed by the Center for Urban Transportation Research at the University of South Florida, with support from the Florida Department of Transportation, and I'm coming to you today from sunny Tampa, Florida. Okay, the part you've all been waiting for, I'm going to introduce Rosa, and then I'll turn the time over to her. Rosa is a program manager for Plug-in America and manages several initiatives with local utilities, private companies, and community organizations. She brings diverse program and project management experience in the nonprofit sector, leading strategic communications, partnership development, and fundraising efforts. She also received a Master of Science in Sustainable Systems from Rochester Institute of Technology, where her graduate work focused on climate change adaptation and clean vehicle technology. Rosa lives in San Diego, California, and is originally from Lima, Peru, where she was born and raised. She speaks Spanish fluently and loves spending time outdoors, practicing yoga, and sharing quality time with her family and friends. And we are very excited to meet Rosa. She will be your contact for the EVAL program. So I'm going to turn the time over to you, Rosa.
Great. Thank you so much, Julie. I really appreciate it. And hello, everybody. Welcome to today's EVAL presentation. Before I dive into the EVAL certification program, I'd like to share a little bit about my organization, Plug-in America. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Through events, education, research, and advocacy, we accelerate EV adoption to reduce our nation's dependence on fossil fuels, improve air quality, and reduce carbon emissions. And we're partnering with Forth to promote EVAL certification in the Northeast region. Next, please. So today, I'm going to be talking about EVAL, the EV Adoption Leadership Program, which was designed to promote clean electric mobility options at the workplace. And my hope is that at the end of this presentation, you will be compelled to learn more about the program and get certified. So a little bit about transportation and emissions today before we dive in. As many of us you know, transportation is the largest source of greenhouse gas emissions. It is also the only sector with rising emissions. According to the US EPA, greenhouse gas emissions from transportation account for about 28% of total US emissions, making it the largest contributor of US greenhouse gases. Another important fact is that between 1990 and 2021, greenhouse gas emissions in the transportation sector increased more than any other sector. Next, please. And while consumers and individual commuters can make choices that help minimize air pollution, employers can do so as well, scaling up their employees' efforts, and their organization's environmental impact. By offering clean transportation benefits to their employees, organizations can scale up their sustainability impact while increasing staff retention, engagement, and satisfaction. A recent survey of, let's go back, please. A recent survey of 20,000 Hewlett-Packard employees globally found that over 60% of survey participants believe that business sustainability is mandatory. And 58% said that environmentally conscious practices are key to engage in the future workplace. Younger generations, such as millennials and Gen Zers, are actually more aware of their impact and how their daily life affects the environment. A study from Communications showed that over 60% of millennials said that they won't work for a company that doesn't have strong social or environmental commitments. And even more interesting, 75% of millennial employees said they would choose to work for a socially responsible company, even if the salary would be less than at other companies. Next, please. So a way for employers to become leaders in clean transportation is through the deployment of an electric mobility workplace charging program. Electric mobility reduces emissions by 30 to 90%, and people who can charge at work are 6 times more likely to buy an electric vehicle, especially if they buy an EV that has a shorter battery range. By implementing workplace charging, employers are basically subsidizing transportation costs for their employees, helping them save thousands of dollars. Showing their commitment to clean mobility and helping employees with transportation costs increases staff retention and makes their company appealing to others, helping with hiring practices. Next, please. So as you can see in this map, EV charging infrastructure still has huge gaps. And even though this map is from 2017, most metropolitan areas show a fraction of the charging infrastructure that will be needed by 2025. Fortunately, employers and workplaces can help fill in the gap. Next slide, please. So as you look at this pyramid, you can tell that charging at home is the primary way to charge because most people are, going to sleep, charging at night, plugging their vehicles. The second most likely location for EV owners is at work. And the reason is because, well, first of all, 20% of Americans have an even higher percentage of low and moderate income drivers live in buildings that do not have access to off-street parking to charge an EV. So if an employer provides electric charging options, people will be more likely to have the assurance that they will go to work and they'll be able to plug their vehicle. Next, please. So workplace charging matters because it provides benefits to both employees, employers, and overall society. For employee benefits, we're looking at EV battery range confidence, especially for those with longer commutes. And also anybody that is driving a plug-in hybrid because they're coming into the office and then they can charge and then they can go back home with a replenished battery. There's fair and equal access to EV charging for workers, especially those who do not have dedicated home charging. There's an alignment with the company value, and also there's increased EV adoption. Benefits for employers include improvement in employee retention and recruitment, alignment and enhancement of sustainability values, the opportunity to demonstrate sustainability leadership, and increased property value and reduced employee commuting emissions. Now, next slide, please. We're also learning that workplace charging is just straight up good for the environment and it's more economical. A recent study by Stanford researchers suggests that shifting current EV charging from home during the day to work at night could reduce cost, improve grid efficiency, and enable and encourage wider build-out of renewables. Electric vehicles will contribute to emissions reduction, but their charging may challenge the electric grid and the operation. So if we're assuming a continued dominance of residential nighttime charging, rapid EV growth could increase peak electricity demand by up to 25% in the next decade, and this could lead to significant costs. So to limit these infrastructure upgrade costs, to generate and store electricity to meet peak residential demand, drivers should move to daytime charging at work or public charging, which would also help to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. All right, so I've covered a little bit. I definitely wanted to give a little bit of background about transportation and, workplace charging, the benefits to individuals, to employers, and to the environment in general. And now I want to talk about the Electric Vehicle Adoption Leadership Program, which is also known as EVAL. Funded by the U.S. Department of Energy, Ford, in collaboration with their partners, including Plug-in America, developed a nationwide platform that recognizes and supports employers for all types and sizes for their clean mobility and workplace charging efforts. Next slide, please. Our goal is to execute a nationwide program consisting of education, outreach, and technical assistance that enable a large-scale increase in workplace charging. Over the next year, our goal is to recognize and certify 5,000 work sites throughout the U.S. with the goal of catalyzing 20,000 port installations at workplaces. Next, please. EVAL distinguishes employers and workplaces leading the charge to address climate change and lower emissions. This certification has been created for employers of all sizes from all industries, including state, local, and tribal government entities, community-based organizations, and nonprofits. Everybody's encouraged and eligible to apply. Next, please. So looking at the mechanics of the certification, right? It's built in a way that it has 5 sections, and it was designed so that employers can gain the certification by filling out a questionnaire online. The questionnaire assesses the employer's efforts towards promoting clean transportation at the workplace and supporting employees to travel sustainably. This can include the availability of EV charging, options for carpooling, biking, and public transportation, as well as incentives for sustainable employee commuting. The certification is made up of 5 sections, as noted in the screen. Section 1 focuses on employee engagement and understanding of employee e-mobility needs. So EVAL has a strong equity component where it's not just about one person speaking on behalf of the organization. It's really about trying to understand, what does my staff need? What are they looking for? Section 2 focuses on planning and evaluation. What are they doing to actually plan and move forward to implement workplace charging? Section 3 centers e-mobility incentives. So this category allows employers who do not own their parking facilities to earn points and reach a certification level. For instance, your organization may be offering some financial assistance to lease or purchase an EV. So that is part of that section. Section 4 is the largest section, and it focuses on EV chargers. And finally, Section 5, which allows employers to showcase their sustainability leadership through innovative and regional programs. Next slide, please. And yeah, so the certification has 5 sections. It's really straightforward and easy. You can go online and start the process, and it takes 6 steps. First, to create an account and register your organization by completing a form. you apply for the EVAL certification by filling out the questionnaire. We have made a lot of resources available on the website, so I encourage you to access those digital resources to help you successfully create the workplace charging program and navigate the questionnaire. There's also the option to connect with Fourth or with Plug in America for additional support for anybody in the, well, this presentation is for folks in the Northeast, so absolutely my contact information is at the end, so I would be your point of contact as you're navigating or exploring EVAL. Number 5, you submit your application and which will be reviewed by Fourth staff. And once it's done, you will receive your certification and get recognized. In addition to the certification questionnaire, Ford has developed a variety of resources to help employers get started on building the workplace charging program. It includes webinars such as this one, templates, surveys, and forms if you're trying to engage with your staff to really understand what are they looking for. There are sample surveys for you. There's a directory of local providers and installers, as well as best practices and educational resources. Fourth, Plug in America and the other partners are also available to answer questions or help you through the application process. Next slide, please. And once you're certified, you will receive a variety of perks and recognitions, including access to an exclusive roundtable group, a spotlight on the EVAL website, multimedia promotions from Fourth and partners, a written profile and case study for platinum organizations, and a digital badge which you can add to your social media, to your website. Also a signed certificate for you to proudly display your certification. Next, please. And yes, this is a question that we get, and we're happy to share that right now. EVAL is free. The registration fee is waived until October of this year. So I definitely encourage anybody that is in this webinar to explore this option and to get your organization certified. So please let me know if my contact information is going to be at the end of the presentation. So if this is something that you're interested in doing, this is really the time because it's free. And after November 1st of this year, a fee will be implemented to certify each organization. So the goal with implementing a no-fee structure for the first year is really to celebrate organizations that are doing the work and that early adopters of the certification. Since it's a one-time certification, you are not going to need to get certified again later on. So if this sounds interesting to you, please let me know. And okay, so now we've talked a little bit about workplace charging. We've talked about EVAL, and you may be starting to think if you want to upgrade or if you want to start installing some equipment for your EV charging at the workplace. I want to share with you and remind you that there are a lot of incentives right now. So in addition to the federal EV tax credit for EV refueling, there's a lot of other incentives at the state and city level. So for instance, in Maine, the city of South Portland is offering EV charging grants for-profit business properties within its limits, funding up to 6 level 2 charger plugs at awarded businesses, which is excellent. Next, please. So in Massachusetts, the Massachusetts Electric Vehicle Incentive Program, also known as Mass EVIP, provides several financing and incentive options for workplace charging, commercial fleet charging, and multi-unit dwellings. The program offers charging infrastructure grants up to $50,000 to eligible workplaces, as well as grants for the purchase or lease of qualified plug-in EVs and EV supply equipment. For multi-unit dwelling, Mass EVIP offers grants for 60% of the cost of level 1 or level 2 charging equipment installed. So Massachusetts definitely has a lot of incentives available. In New Hampshire, The New Hampshire Electric Co-op offers incentives for the installation of new electric vehicle charging station to their commercial and municipal members. Install up to two level 2 or larger charging stations and qualify for an incentive of 50% of installed costs up to $2,500. And you can be eligible twice a year. So that's excellent. In New York, the state's Energy Research and Development Authority, also known as NYSERDA, offers $4,000 per charging port installed at a public facility located within a disadvantaged community, $2,000 per charging port installed at a workplace or multi-unit dwelling location, and an additional $500 per port may be awarded for eligible charging equipment installed at a workplace if located within a disadvantaged community. So a lot of excellent options. In Vermont, this is a great one too. Charge Vermont grants could cover about 90 to 100% of the cost of installing level 1 or level 2 chargers at a workplace in the state. The Workplace Charging Incentive Program is available to for-profit businesses, nonprofits, and government agencies. Applicants that are women and minority-owned businesses are particularly encouraged to apply. So these are some of the incentives. And now that you know about incentives for EV refueling infrastructure, we really hope that you will begin your workplace charging journey. And I invite you to become an EVAL certified as soon as possible. First of all, because it's free and because it's just low-hanging fruit right now, available widely. It doesn't matter the type of organization that you are, the size, if you already started your journey in implementing clean mobility efforts, or you are still thinking about it, you can start now. You don't have to have a charger installed for you to start your EVAL certification. Our community of certified sustainability leaders continues to grow, and we're very excited for you to be part of it. And our members include a number of cities and municipalities, including the cities of Winter Park, Tumwater, and Hillcrest, along with a number of businesses such as Climate First Bank, Amgen, Loyola University Chicago, that have new commitments to sustainability. So what's next? We're looking for partners to use, customize, and promote the platform, and for employers to reach out and get certified. If you're interested in certifying your organization or know someone who might, please let me know. You can just raise your hand or email me afterwards. I would love to connect with you after this presentation. And I also invite you to connect with Ford on social media to stay up to date on launch events and the updates. So this is the end of our presentation, and I welcome any questions.
Thanks very much, Rosa. That was a really great presentation. And it looks like we do have some questions coming in.
Oh, yeah.
And so it looks like we have a good group. So right now is your time to ask questions. So please, you can just type those into the Q&A box and we will answer those live right now. So the first question, Rosa, is what if we have multiple locations? Do we need to complete the eval application for every location?
Yes. So as a user, you'll go and you will basically register your organization, and then you register the site. So you can start, for instance, I don't know the size of your organization, but you can do the local one, for instance, and then get started. Then you can go to the headquarters. So the certification is per work site. So yeah, it will have to be each work site has its own certification.
Great. That seems to be a common question. So I'm glad someone asked that. So let's see, another question we have is, do you have any recommendations for the different departments we should talk to get their buy-in for the EVAL certification?
Absolutely. So I'm not sure the size of your organization, but if there is a person that is like a sustainability manager or a coordinator, that's great. Otherwise, you can talk to your operations manager. You can talk to, because this is depending the angle that you're coming from, if the person asking the question is more like an employee or is somebody in leadership, I think that you can talk from the point of view of the employee, right? Like this would benefit me in this way. So I would talk, you can talk to an HR person. You can also talk to your operations manager to let them know, look at all these benefits for the employees, but look at all the benefits for the organization as well. I mean, you're talking about factors like staff retention, hiring, employee satisfaction. These are all things that matter to, honestly, a C-suite level person, an HR person, somebody that is more focused on minimizing the emissions or the environmental impact from your organization. You want to talk to the sustainability person. If you have, sometimes organizations have people that are, they don't have a title, but they have a lot of human capital, right? That they have a lot of influence on. Sometimes I remember in my previous position, the executive assistant of the director had been there for many years, had been there for like 10 years. She knew everybody at the board. She knew everyone. She understood people's priorities. So even though her title was executive assistant to the director, she had a lot of influence. So you could bring this initial conversation to these people that have a lot of influence as well in the organization.
Okay, great. And also Alexandra also commented, if you have more than a handful of sites, Fourth is working on a bulk certification process to make it easy for employers to certify many sites at once. So I just wanted to let everyone know that was in the chat. So some extra information on the first question. Okay, and it looks like we have a really great list of employers, organizations already certified. There's a universities, a bank, some private sector organizations. We have several cities, which is exciting. So I think there's some great examples of those who have certified. Okay, another question. What is the time commitment to complete the application? Do you have an estimate of how much time can we reserve for completing our application?
The question is pretty straightforward. And I think that it would be hard for me to give an estimate of time because it really depends on the size of your organization. If your organization is, you know, a large corporation, it would probably take a lot more to certify the headquarters of Citibank in New York City, for instance, than a small cooperative in a smaller city. So it really depends because you want to engage with your staff, you want to be able to create a group that represents. So it really varies. Honestly, I really encourage you to just go onto the EVAL certification and start going through the questionnaire. I think that I've done it more than once, and it really didn't take me that long, but also, okay, under an hour, that's great. Thank you, Alexandra. Alexandra is on the chat from Fourth. I'm glad you're here, Alexandra. So under an hour, that's excellent. That's definitely what it took me, under an hour.
And I think something else that's helpful that Alexandra put in the chat is you can view all the questions in advance. So if you want to go through and review those in advance, that's very helpful for when you do log in and start your application. So you can go through and see what those questions are and get prepared to answer those. Okay, let's see. So you mentioned that this is during the period that there is no fee to become EVAL certified. And if we become EVAL certified, does it cost anything to apply to move up? So if we were bronze and then we wanted to recertify up a notch, would that cost anything? Or how does that work if we decide to move
That's a
up once
good
we've certified?
question. Right now, the certification doesn't require to get recertified, but I would understand that if an organization does a certification today, in a year from now, they have already installed a bunch of other chargers and they have a lot more options and they want to move up. There will likely be a pricing structure. We're still working on that pricing structure. But I don't think we have that final number yet. But I'm happy to share that information with you. I'll have to go back. Alexandra, I don't know if you have anything else to add about pricing. Yes, so anything until 2024 November 1st, it will be free, even if you come back. But after, there's gonna be an additional cost. And but that's why, and I don't have that number yet, but that's why we're really encouraging you guys to certify today. And then up if you can go up a level for sure.
Great, that's really good to know. So you can recertify as many times as you wish. So it's great to get in now, and you can get your certification in if you do want to move up, you can do that free also. So thank you very much for clarifying that. Okay, let's see. Again, if you have any questions, type in the Q&A. I think we have one more question, but we're open for more. So if you think of something in the next few minutes, please type them in. Another question is, you mentioned that you could, for your application, you could enter in some of your innovative programs. Do you have any examples of what the current applicants have as far as innovative programs go, just to get thoughts going on that?
Yeah, I mean,
And
you
that
can
was
talk about innovative programs could include different things like, for instance, car sharing, right? Or you can talk about access. It doesn't have to be, this is not strictly about electric vehicles. It could be about electric bikes, for instance, having a partnership with an entity that has or offers lease of electric bikes. We could also talk about if where you live, there's clean public transportation. There's clean public transportation. Maybe there's a partnership that with the transportation entity, and if the organization, the employer subsidizes, you know, the train or the bus passes for employees. I think anything that is innovative like that can help. It's really a way to and this is sort of an open-ended question in the last section of the certification. So this is a box. And yeah, that's basically what we consider innovative. And partnerships that encourage not just EV charging, but you know, there's some interesting concepts, like for instance, if your organization has a fleet and you're trying to change your fleet into electric, let's say you do a lot of deliveries and you're trying to how maybe you're redesigning your parking structure so that you are offering electric charging for both fleet and employees, right? And that means that you're going to have to look at the system. You're going to have to look at how the timing, you're going to have to look at how people are registering to use the space. Those are the things that really takes a lot of considerations, a lot of thought, and that we consider innovative.
great. Okay, so also, let's see, I guess the first exclusive eval roundtable work group will be on March 11th. And so they would love to have you join, and that's more incentive to certify sooner. So you can be part of that exclusive roundtable. That sounds like a lot of fun. And also, Christine has an evaluation that we would love for you to complete. Everyone attending, we'd love to hear from you. You can also check on there if you would like some more in-depth follow-up, and we'd love to hear what you thought of the session and any ideas that you have. So with that, it looks like we do not have any more questions. And so Rosa, I thank you so much. This was really a great session, and we look forward to working with everyone in your region.
Yes, absolutely. And I believe in the last slide is my email address. Feel free to, yes, so anybody that is in the audience that has more questions, feel free to either contact Julie, who can refer to me, or to contact me directly. Again, so many benefits of getting certified right now. It's free. You will participate in the EVAL roundtable if you make it to the platinum level, and then you can just start showcasing your support for employees and for clean transportation. Thank you, Christine.
Great. And again, thank you very much. We look forward to working with all of you, and we'll talk with you soon. So have a great day.
Bye. Thank you, Julie. Bye, everybody.